Bill Belichick, how he should feel, Bill Belichick and his legacy. We'll get to all of that. But first and foremost, most importantly, Joy, should Bill Belichick feel embarrassed after this 1-3 start and how things are going?
Embarrassed? I can't go with embarrassed. Not Bill Belichick. And I know we're about to pile on Bill heavy for this segment. But I'm going to set the table with him. I can't go to embarrassed. He does have 6 Super Bowl rings.
He does got 6 in the bank.
He was Coach of the Year 3 times. Only Shula has more.
What have you done for me lately?
I hear you, but those things happen, though. Like, they did happen.
They did happen.
They happened.
Yeah, they did.
3rd most wins of all time. Only Shula and Hallis have more.
Take that away.
And, you know, we're going to talk about what part of the equation Brady played in, and I think we all kind of agree it was mostly Brady.
95%.
Okay, but the defense was still great for a lot of Brady's career.
They were absolutely.
Belichick coaches that part of the side of the ball. He had great offensive lines. The defense could arguably say played massive roles in some of those Super Bowl wins.
Massive.
The special teams played massive roles in some of those Super Bowl wins.
On, guys.
And I'm not taking anything away from Brady.
Come on, guys.
Nothing away from Brady to God, all right? We don't want to blaspheme. But most great coaches are paired with great talent, particularly in the NFL. The really only exception is Joe Gibbs. He still had great talent, but he won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks in his stint in Washington. Joe Theismann, Doug Williams, and Mark Rippon.
Joe Theismann.
No, Theismann is great. Like, these are good players.
Yeah,
Good players, great players. But he did it with different quarterbacks. But outside of that, you have examples of great coaches paired with great talent because players win the games.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to have a bigger conversation of how much more credit players get than the coaches. But I can't go as far as embarrassed when you have a resume like that. I can't go to embarrassed. Disappointing lately, but overall, embarrassed feels like a big meat burger of a question word to put on Bill Belichick.
Then let's go here, 2-5. Let's talk legacy. Legacy, how will people remember you when you are done doing what you're doing? How will people remember you when you're gone? I think Bill Belichick's legacy is taking a hit. Personally, I think Bill Belichick is the greatest defensive mind. I was taking both, big dog.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Bill Belichick is the greatest defensive mind, in my mind, the game of football has ever seen. But he is not the greatest head coach the game has ever seen. And the reason I can say that is because what did you do without Tom Brady? When I think about what Andy Reid did, he did something with Donovan McNabb, got to a Super Bowl. He did something with Patrick Mahomes. When I think about what Phil Jackson did, he did something with Michael Jordan. He did something with Kobe Bryant. What can you do when they take away the only person that somebody has ever attributed to you? What do you do then? And Bill Belichick ain't doing nothing with Mac Jones. Great defensive mind, he absolutely is. But I can separate the two. Kyle Shanahan's a great offensive mind. He need to win a Super Bowl before I can start talking about he's one of the greatest coaches. One of the greatest offensive minds the game of football's ever seen. I can separate the two. Shady, has Belichick's legacy, greatest coach ever, has it taken a hit?
What line you just highlight right there?
I'm going to say no. The answer question is no. I mean, his legacy can't take a hit because he has so many championships, right? But there's some truth. I don't want to take a hit on your legacy. I just want to speak the truth. Because everybody always finds a way to butter up who he really is. He's really, without Tom Brady, he's an average coach. These are the numbers say, right? I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for years, like, this dude is not this great coach. He had Tom Brady. Soon he leaves. They're a whole different team. When you watch them now, it's like they're like at the bottom of the barrel type of team. Joe, you spoke about how it's coach and a player. I get that, right? And then even now they talk about how he's the greatest coach defensively, right? But when you really look at him, like, they're not even the top 20 defensive team. They're not doing no defense. I don't see no growth. I don't see no developments. When they drafted Mac Jones, it's like, you know what, this is a really good pick. You know, they did it with Tom Brady. They're similar. Smart guy, stay in the pocket, right? I don't see, not even Tom Brady. Let's take Tom Brady away. I don't see no development in Mac Jones. I watched Mac Jones last week against the Cowboys. Running, scrambling to the right side of the field, throwing the ball all the way to the left.
Can't do it.
That's high school stuff. That's the first lesson you learn about playing quarterback. So when I watch Bill Belichick, and I watch the defense now, defense not the same. As much as I want to give them credit for it, they're not top 20 defense at all. When I watch without Tom Brady, they're ranked 30th and putting points up. They're averaging 14 points a game. This is who they are. He went from a point where he wouldn't go out there in free agency and put a lot of money to get defensive players. I'm so good as a defensive coach. I don't need to do that. I got Tom Brady. Now Tom's gone, spending all type of money to get these boys, and it's still not working. So I don't want to kill his legacy, but the truth of the matter is that Bill Belichick, without Tom Brady, he'll be a regular coach. He's an average coach, and that's what the numbers say. He's 500 as a coach, as a winning coach without Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's some things you cannot take away from coaches and you can't take away from players. That's championships.
Yes, sir.
Right? You cannot take away championships and you cannot take away wins, right? He's accomplished that a lot. But his legacy has absolutely taken a hit because let's just think back right here. Bill Belichick is not just the head football coach. Bill Belichick is the GM of the Patriots as well. When you are a GM, that means you are bringing in the players that you want. With Tom Brady, we always should be looking at some of these receivers, even some of the players on the defense, like, dang, he was garbage over here. He get with Tom, this dude Pro Bowl, whatever it may be, like he playing at a high level, like Bill's so smart. Bill brought this dude in. At the end of the day, it was all Tom. Bill Belichick was a losing coach in 4 years with the Cleveland Browns without Tom Brady.
That's true.
Bill Belichick is a losing coach with the New England Patriots without Tom Brady.
Talk to him.
And these are his players. When I think about great head coaches, and we putting Bill Belichick in this different level of being the greatest head coach of all time, but I look at coaches like Pete Carroll, who's been to the playoffs and a Super Bowl with Matt Hasselbeck. Lost Matt Hasselbeck, you go to Russell Wilson, nothing changes. He still finds a way to win. You go from Russell Wilson to Geno Smith, and you're in the playoffs again. You just find ways to win. That's good football head coaches. Mike McCarthy won a lot in Green Bay. Yes, he had Aaron Rodgers, but he went to Dallas, and he won in Dallas, too. It's a lot of – you spoke of Andy Reid. Right? Andy Reid wins in Philly with Donovan McNabb, so many NFC championships and all that with Donovan McNabb, and then you go to Kansas City – and you win there even more. So for me, a head coach, and if you're talking about the greatest head coach of all times, it really don't matter who you got. You're going to put these dudes in the best situations to win some games. Bill has not done that. And I don't know if it's too many head coaches that has had the power that Bill has.
That's true.
Being basically the head coach and the GM. Coach Mike can't bring in nobody without Jerry. Jerry said, I ain't even listening to you. Here come Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bill has so much power over there in New England, and since Tom Brady has left, none of it has worked. When he was in Cleveland, none of it has worked. And then on top of that, the Belichick tree, the Bill O'Briens, the Josh McDaniels, the Joe Judges, all these coaches that left him, 3 playoff wins.
Yeah, they bad.
3. Romeo, whoever you say leaving Belichick to try to go somewhere else to do the Patriot way without Tom equals 3 playoff wins.
And I'm going to say this. We need to stop putting Bill Belichick's name with Andy Reid's. I'm
Oh.
going to say that. Now, listen, he might have more championships. He got it because he got Tom Brady. Every team Andy Reid has been on, they find ways to win, right? When he got to Philadelphia, they wasn't good. He changed that thing around. When you get to the Chiefs, they wasn't good. He changed that thing around. That's the definition of a really good coach. You put him anywhere. Now, Andy's a big guy, so you gotta really drop him somewhere. You drop him anywhere, he's going to show you results. They're going to win games. You're going to see players get better and better and better. With Bill Belichick, I don't see it. So let's stop putting Bill Belichick's name with Andy Reid's because they're not close.
Ooh, say it again, they not what?
Look, and then drop the mic on. Next block.
Can we say that maybe he just hasn't aged well? Like,
Well, he been old. He been old. He been old.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean, like, most people don't age well in business. Like, it's actually kind of a phenomenon to be able to continue to shift as businesses move and change. And the NFL has changed.
But that's what I'm saying, because Pete's the oldest.
Yeah, I'm not really talking specifically about age. Like, but yes, the age is correlated because he's been coaching for a long time. But I'm saying a lot of coaches have been coaching for a long time and have been able to pivot. Nick Saban is somebody that pivoted. Pete Carroll pivoted. Andy Reid pivoted. The game changes, you change with it. You have to see what's coming around the corner in any business. So to me, he relied so much on Tom making everything work because Tom was so great that he could do all those things. He could be a so-so GM. He could not pay free agents. And they got away with it because Tom was there. But you have to know and understand and not be humble, but just understand that this was working because you had someone that great. So either you didn't respect the greatness of Tom Brady and what he brought to the table and what he allowed you to do as a talent and as a person, as a leader and individual,
Right.
you had to have thought this was all you. And when you have that much success, I know people will have way less success that it's hard to talk to and get them to change and get them to understand where they are. Imagine having a conversation with someone that has as much success as Bill Belichick. So in some ways, I sort of empathize with it because I couldn't walk up to Bill Belichick and say, change how you do things. I got 6 of them things. Do what?
Well, how's that make him great then?
It doesn't. I'm saying that perhaps from a human perspective, I can see why it's difficult for him to move off of what he's always done, even if it is unreasonable.
I think that both you're right, which makes Bill Belichick wrong, in the sense that what you're saying is right, but that embodies why I don't think Bill Belichick's a great coach.
Is he not a great coach, or did he stay too long? I guess
I don't think he was ever a great head coach. Right. Remember, we use this as a trivia question. The last team to make the playoffs starting 1-3 was the 2001, Andy help me with this, was the 2001 Patriots. And Tom Brady didn't start that year.
Right. Ooh.
And they won a Super Bowl. So Bill Belichick, even before Tom Brady became the starter backing up Drew Bledsoe, was sorry.
That's true.
So Bill Belichick literally has just never been a good head coach without Tom Brady.
And then you said business. My thing is, so if I got a business, right, and you're my GM, and soon you leave my GM, my business goes down the drain. How am I such a great owner?
I hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear this.
I'm not.
I'm serious.
Trying to put some nuance on it because I wonder how much we will say of this if he had stopped. Say after, like, we all gave him the year after.
Oh, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know.
So what I argue with Bill Belichick is he stayed too long. If we gave him the year after Brady left, right? Like everybody gets a year after the legend leaves. All right, so they struggle, whatever. He gets Mac Jones, and they go to the playoffs.
It's smoked by 30.
Sure, but he got a quarterback in, and they went to the playoffs.
Okay.
So you can say that. If he had retired after that,
we wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know.
Which is better.
Which is better.
But why? We don't know because there's not
a sample size. There's no data to draw from. We would have no idea.
But that don't make it right. It's like you hiring somebody.
It doesn't, but I'm just saying, I think he just hasn't pivoted.
No.
And I think that's the problem. And so now, unfortunately, we're going to look at all of this differently because he.
Can we look at more guys? Like, okay, real quick. Like Rex Ryan. I thought Rex Ryan's a good coach. You put him in that Patriots team. How we know he won't win championships like Bill Belichick? Mike Tomlin.
Great defensive mind.
You put him over there. How you know he don't win a championship? Yeah. Andy Reid. See, now this is a bigger question. Since you got me thinking now. Now you got me thinking. Some of these coaches that we didn't think they thought they were good but not great. You put them with Tom Brady and the Patriots. You see what they do. Marvin Lewis. Every year they keep going. You put him on.
Yeah.
I just think about the head coaches that didn't have great quarterbacks that found a way to get it done. Right. The Lovie Smiths.
Lovie Smith.
Rosen? Whatever. I mean, Rex Grossman.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And he in the Super Bowl? So coaches that have got it done that don't have great quarterbacks, and now that we're seeing Bill Belichick without a great quarterback, and he's at the bottom.
He's at the bottom.
He's at the bottom. And not only that, like Joy Point, if you are a great coach, you evolve. You listen to your coaches.
That's what makes you a great coach.
You see where this league is going, and you say, okay, we did it this way because we had Tom, but we got to do it this way now because Tom ain't here, and we got to evolve and get better.
You guys are all gamblers, right?
All gamblers, no question.
You gotta know when to fold them.
Gotta know when to fold them.
Yeah, it's time to leave.
I look at Belichick like when you run into that random person, that stranger, and you're like, dang, how you driving that car? Dang, how you got that crib? Dang, I didn't know they got that much money. Then your homeboy or homegirl walks up to him and says, yeah, they so-and-so's son. They so-and-so's daughter. And it doesn't take away the money they have, but it qualifies why they got all that money in the first place.
Bill Belichick.
I'm not going to take away the rings he has, but I am going to qualify why he got all that rings.
He was a product of nepotism now?
Tom Brady.
Hey, but Bill Belichick is a real, player right now. Because as a player, when you're getting older, they like, ooh, he's slowing down. He's missing a step real quick. And your head, you're like, well, I'm still that dude. No, you're not.
You gotta know when to walk away.
Hang them up.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.